The New Hampshire governor's race feels like it's a long ways off, but it's not. It's right around the corner. In fact, candidates are going to register on June 3rd. I want to come in closer and talk about each one of the candidates and what I think. We have 3 candidates running for the governor's office in 2026, and we saw all 3 of them in the last election cycle. That is Kelly Ayotte, our current governor, incumbent. We have Cinde Warmington. She took 2nd place after the debate with the Democrats, losing to Joyce. And then we have Jon Kiper. Jon Kiper is an interesting one. We will talk about him and the other 2 as we go. But first, I want to talk about our current governor, Kelly Ayotte. And I want to say right now that I believe that she will win the governorship again. Not because I'm a supporter, but because I can read tea leaves. Right now, the field is a little weird. We have 1 Democrat, we have 1 independent, and we have 1 Republican. All of this can change on June 3rd when we realize if there's going to be additional candidates that get listed or not. And that plays a really crucial role in how we're talking about this, because there probably won't be any debates. There probably won't be much. If this does not change, this is how I see it. Kelly Ayotte retains office, and Cinde Warmington and Jon Kiper walk away with maybe another try in 2028. Now, that might sound like doom and gloom, but the reality is Warmington came in 2nd place, right, in 2024, and Jon Kiper came in and took 10% of the vote. The difference was they were both running on the Democratic ticket, and this year it is very different. But I think that Ayotte has done just enough in the office to keep the independents, the Republicans, and maybe a few strays in line. That is a big, big deal for her, because she won't have to beg too much this cycle because there's just simply not enough competition. That does not mean I don't like all these candidates. It just means that I think Kelly has done just enough to scoop by. I don't think that she's winning in a landslide. I don't think the federal ticket is going to be much of an impact here. But for the governor's office, I just feel like there's not enough competition at the top of the ticket that's going to push her out of office. Let's move on to Cinde Warmington. I got to meet her. I even took a picture with her in 2024 during my run. I don't think that she's a bad person, but I think that she carries a significant amount of baggage for Democrats and independents alike. She has a history with Big Pharma. She was involved in the opioid crisis, and a lot of people still hold that against her. You might say, well, Adam, you're being this way, you're being that way about it. Listen, I know, I get it. But if you look at the field, has anybody gotten excited over Cinde? Like, has any signs hit the grass? Has anybody been just talking about their excitement over this? And to me, so far, that has not occurred. At least in my neck of the woods, it is not happening. So if it is for you, I want to hear about that in the comments, because I want to take all these inputs and try to make like a reasonable picture of what we see in November. So I think that Cinde is a good person. I think that she has a desire to be in the office. She was one of 5 executive council members in 2024, being the only Democratic voice on the council. If you don't know what the executive council does, please look into it. A good friend of mine, Luz Bay, she is running for that executive seat here in CD1 and going up the edge of New Hampshire. Look for her, check her out. I did an episode. You can dive right in. I do support Luz's run, and I hope you will too. Now, I think that our special one that we need to talk about is Jon Kiper, because Jon Kiper came in a little bit late in 2024, and people were excited about this because he's an outsider. He's not a politician. He hasn't held like big office anywhere. He's never been a governor. You know, he's done some small stuff in Newmarket. He ran a restaurant. He's a business guy. He just wrote a book. But Jon, even though that I know him, I consider him a friend, I don't think that he's going to have a seat at the table. And I'll want to explain why. Jon flipped from Democrat to independent and then back to Democrat for the announcement last year that he was going to run for governor again. I think that's wonderful to have another voice at the table, a little competition. It stirs up people, right? Moves them left, moves them right. We need people to run for these offices. Otherwise, we just get ham sandwiches that slide right in. At the end of the day, though, Jon just made a crucial error. And I might be wrong for this, so don't crucify me. And even if you're watching this, Jon, please forgive me. I need to see where you're going with this. But for those that don't know, Jon just left the Democrat Party again and went independent, starting his own party called the Community First Party. Now, for me, I want to be honest here. I think that Jon made a mistake here, because instead of choosing to start his own party and go independent again, I think he would have had a bigger and a better time staying as the Democrat, getting himself into a debate, possibly, you know, I'm not saying that he would have won, will win, or whatever the case is, but had he, you know, go forward and win, he can then make the New Hampshire Democrat Party in his eyes. He could have had full reign to tell Ray that I won the governorship, I should have input on the party's platform here in New Hampshire, and he could have run it basically from the governorship. So I'm a little disappointed, to be honest, that he has chosen to leave the Democrat Party and build, you know, his own. And I think a lot of people are going to see that and say no. Now, Jon has said that his goal here is to capture 4% of the votes, but I don't see him capturing more than maybe 1%, right? There's a very small, slim amount of people that are going to give away their vote like that, right? When you could vote and actually get the governor that you want, right? The Republican, the Democrat, whatever it is. I know, I get it. I hate the two-party system as well. But until we all get on board, we get ranked choice voting here in New Hampshire like Maine has and some of the other states, like, we are stuck with this. So, you know, the boo-hoo, the Democrats hate me, or I don't want to be a part of that, or the Republican part of that, right? I'm not in that party, so I can't really speak to that. But we have what we have. The best thing that we can do is come together and put good people forward, right? And that's not to say that anybody here is not good. I know them personally. I think they are good people. They have policies that I either agree or disagree with. I'm not going to endorse anybody for like another 4 to 6 weeks. My goal is I want to see who's in the party, who's doing what their behavior is, what are they saying, what the policies are. And then once we have that, I will throw the full weight of this channel behind that person. I like to go out and shake hands and talk to people, but I'm not loud about it, right? I just show up, I have the conversation, and then I move forward. I'm excited about this race, kinda. As of right now, like I said in the beginning, I think the Republican takes it, because I think between Warmington and Kiper, they cut enough votes that neither one of them can move forward. And I think that's where the problem really is. That doesn't mean that one needs to drop out or anything. I honestly think the only way we avoid this particular outcome this cycle is by finding the right candidate, right? Going into the bench and finding somebody that's going to unite people, find people that are going to get excited about a candidate, and then let them do their thing. And right now, I just don't feel like we're seeing that in the field. So maybe things can change. I don't really know. And I'm not a kingmaker by any decision making or thought process or anything like that. In fact, I would like to hear a little bit from you. If you watched this video, you got to this point in the video, you know, maybe drop a like, a subscribe, a follow, whatever. Comment to me, talk to me. I want to have a conversation with you. I want you to tell me who's going to win the governorship this year and why. And don't give me that, you know, like, oh, well, because it's a Republican. Give me a good reason. Maybe I'll make a video on it. Hey, thank you for checking this out. I appreciate you, and let's talk soon.